Hey guys, welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Matthew and I appreciate you tuning in this morning. Doing a little work by myself. I got a baby doctor appointment this morning, so got to be done. We got our motor planer running. It's not as good a result as I wanted, but we're going to talk about it and we're going to run some boards. And if you'll come right back, we'll get to it. So hang on. Okay guys, let's talk about where we're at today. Yesterday, I had a winding technician come by and we spent 8-10 hours going through this machine, setting it up, leveling it up, squaring it up, making him happy with where it was at and getting it ready to run. We run into some issues that took some time to fix. One of the big ones is this table. It's on a kind of a shackle system, and it was leaning too far forward, and it was intersecting the first cutter head, so we had to get it moved back, squared up, and that in itself is a challenge. Luckily, Matthew and I had that apart to fix it. If you watch some of our previous videos, you've seen where we tore that apart, so it come apart easy. It's got 4 little cams in there that rotate. They're on eccentrics. Once we got that settled, went through the rest of it. It was a day full. I recorded it, maybe not for YouTube, but for my own purpose, where I asked him hundreds and hundreds of questions about different things. Got the machine to where we could fire it up and try to calibrate it, and then we hit a snag. It's got a calibration tool in the computer. It's got some controllers on the motors, and something wasn't happy. It just wouldn't cooperate. He contacted his people at Weining, and you know, all the solutions sounded expensive, so let's just leave it at that. Biggest issue, let me open this up here. This head here goes up and down, and it has the option to be attached to the feed beam, to where the feed beam can move it up and down, or you can unattach it, and it has a roller with a counter. So you can set that head precise without any computer involvement. Unfortunately, this outer one here, it don't have, let me get you a little closer so you can see it. Let's see here, yeah. This head does not have the typical screw and counter because they put it right where it would go. I can move the head manually. I just have no way of fine-tuning it to the thousandths. So at this current moment, what we're considering doing is eliminating this motor, basically eliminating the computer and going completely manual. And I'll be honest with you, if I bought a brand new machine today, a 6-head winding motor, it would be their manual motor. All it's got is dials on it, and you set it up and you run it. We're not looking at doing staircase moldings, chair moldings, door trim, window trim. We're not looking at doing any of that crap. We got more than we can keep up with doing wall boards, flooring, you know, ceiling, stuff like that. So, and the other issue I got is this machine is 35 years old, 34 years old. And a lot of this technology is going away. The guy that was out here yesterday, Peter, he's one of the few in the company that's been around long enough that, you know, actually remembers how to work with this stuff, how to set it, how to calibrate it. And to me, it's simpler with older technology. If you can just go away from it and go to the manual, be perfect. Because all I need is a handle on this thing to where I can dial in the number I want and run. So that's kind of the snag we hit. Wasn't unexpected, unfortunate, but it wasn't unexpected. It has a controller here on the end that reads the number of times the motor cycles, and we try to put it in calibration. And what it would do, it puts this head all the way out till it hit its end stop, and then it would rotate back. and it's supposed to go back about 10 millimeter and stop. Same thing with this feed beam. When you hit it to calibrate, it would go all the way to its upper stop, come back down about 10 millimeter and quit. Well, neither one of them would quit. So there's something, either both controllers are bad or the computer is bad. And the guy was kind of leaning more, the people he talked to was kind of leaning more to the computer was bad. And I'm not interested in spending that kind of money to make it work and really not need it. You know, right now I need to run 3/4 inch, 4, 6, and 8 inch wide V-groove tongue and groove. I need to run 3/4 inch, 4, 6, 8 inch wide nickel gap, or it's going to be all 8 inch nickel gap. I need to run some 4, 6, 8 inch hardwood flooring, you know, and that can easily be done with this handle. That's what it's for, catch gaps. So we're waiting on Weining on this to see if they have done one of these in the past, converted over. The biggest issue is you need this counter. I'm pretty well assured if I pull that off, there's provisions for this counter, and if all you need is a square drive to put the handle on. They can't come up with something. I know I can. The biggest thing with these counters is they have 3 different calibrations as far as number of rotations equals fractions of an inch. So you need to figure that out, that part, but we can manage that. So that being said, it's ready to run. We got some sweet gum we run over here yesterday, just S4S. The other issue run into, my tongue and groove V-groove knives they weren't made wrong, but they were made for another machine. They were made to run face up, and we're wanting to run our boards face down. And the reason being is there's 2 cutters on the bottom and only 1 cutter on top. So your first cutter kisses the bottom. You got your 2 side cutters. The top cutter is your only cut on the bottom face, and then your outfeed cutter is your second cut on what will be your face side. So on these 5-head machines, and even a lot of the 6-head machines, old guys like to run it face down with you got a tongue and a groove. They like to run the tongue against the fence, and I agree. That tongue has more surface area right along that fence versus the groove right along that fence. So it was just a little miscommunication, salesman order stuff, so it's no big deal. I already talked to them this morning. What I had wasn't really what I wanted, so while I had that chance to have them remake them and insert carbide, I went ahead and had him remake them to what I wanted. What I got was a single-sided V-groove. So the top was V-groove, and the bottom was basically a flush fit with a trash gap. And since we was remaking them, I called him this morning and said, hey, since you're having to remake them, go ahead and make it double-sided tongue and groove. Even though we're running face side down, when it's all said and done, the guy goes to put it on the wall, and the face side is not as pretty, he can turn around and say, oh, this side looks better, and put it together and it'll work. Given all other opportunities, I would rather do everything 2-sided so you have the option of flipping faces. So things happen. I mean, the face side could have a nasty knot, it could have a tear out, you know, it could have a little bit of wind shake and it's popping up, and you flip it over and the other side is acceptable, put it together and use it. So what I'm gonna do this morning for the purpose of this video is I got a customer that needed some 1x8 white pine, just S4S. I was gonna do it on my grizzly planer. Good customer, comes all the time buying some stuff, doing crafts. And I normally leave it like 13/16 so he can take it home, run it through his planer and just make it a hair smoother. But since we got this running, it's producing a good quality 3/4 inch board. I'm just gonna change the width out to a full 8, and we're gonna run them. And you'll get to see firsthand it working. Yesterday, like I say, yesterday was aggravating. We worked through a lot of challenges. A lot of stuff is well worth what it's gonna cost me to pay to be here. We learned a lot. I asked a lot of good questions. He showed us a lot of setup tool tricks and tips for this particular machine. One good thing that was a blessing is our vacuum system is excellent. With it all fired up and running, there's a little sawdust here, and I'll show you where it comes from. The top of that valve, for some reason or another, don't seal off. So it was blowing a little sawdust out the top of that valve. It might be something we can fix with some zip tape, get up there. But there's so much airflow coming through there, that little gap where the flapper closes, opens and closes, is allowed a little sawdust to come out the top. Not the end of the world, but it took me a little bit to figure out where it's coming from. I was running the machine, and I couldn't see no sawdust inside of it. And let me take you down here and look. We just turned it off last night and quit. That's sawdust that comes off the board. The machine itself is clean. Now this sawdust out here is what blowed out of the ceiling, so we'll have to address that. But I wasn't planning on making this video this morning, but since I'm going to plane these boards, I think it's a good video to make. All in all, this was a 10-month gamble on whether the machine would fire up and run. I'm extremely pleased with it. I mean, I could have spent 3 times the money and had the same machine. So, all in all, I'm happy. Now, I will tell you up front, this machine, or any of these machines, long term, they are a budget hound. They like money being spent on them. The spindles are quite expensive, especially if you wear them completely out. They can be in the $5,000 to $7,000 range a piece, and there's 5 of them. So, you can try to catch them before they wear out and have them rebuilt. They're still not cheap, but rebuilt's better than having to replace. Knives are a big cost. If you cut clean wood and you just wear them down, they're your regular high-speed steel's resharpenable. And if you go to hitting nails, somebody's gonna have a bad day, because especially on this insert carbide, you knock out an insert and the carbide itself, it gets kind of expensive. But I think that's it. Been doing a couple things, get it ready, and we'll try to run these boards through here, see how they behave today. We were, like I said, we only run 4. It was late today, and we're both ready to see it run and call it quits, and we did. We jogged this out manually, got it set, where we wanted it, and run through. Had to make a couple minor adjustments, but I will say that the rear bottom head and the rear upper head, I left the high-speed steel knives on it that came with the heads. It'd definitely be better quality if we switch out, put the high-speed carbide on there. But just for proof of concept, I'm going to let them roll for today. I believe that's going to do it. I'm tickled to death. I mean, it's still, we're still working on it. Still fighting some of the little gremlins, but we're getting there, guys. We appreciate you coming along for the journey. Give me a minute to get set up, get everything turned on, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, there we go. I just run 10 S4S 1x8s. I had two 1x6s over there. I just pushed the fence over a little bit, run them through. It's basically a S3S. You know, it cut one side, it didn't cut the other. I could have took the time to move this head in, but I wasn't worried about it. I just gonna run them. I'm looking for surface quality. You can tell we had a little bit of an outfeed issue. I had to keep front feeding it to get it to push out. That was my own fault. I didn't turn the air compressor on early enough to let it just fill back up, so it was low on air pressure. Yeah, it's already got double air pressure it had on it when I first started. There's a lot to learn here, people, let me tell you. Got some feed marks I'm not happy with here. What's the bottom, the face side, looks good. The top side, probably could have cut just a smidge more off the top. And that adjustment's made right here. You can take this and basically it moves. If you move that table up an 1/8 an inch, it makes the top cutter take an 1/8 inch more. So you can adjust whether you're taking more off the bottom or more off the top. That's what it's there for. And if I had help where I hadn't been running back and forth, I'd probably stop there and tweak that just a little bit and took a little more off the top, which is the back face, but still it would have cleared it up a little better. It's no different than a planer. You guys ever run a planer? You try to take a turn and a half this side, turn it over, take a turn and a half that side, turn it over, take a turn it over, take a turn. You know, you kind of want to take a little off both sides as you work down. Well, this you get one shot. We're taking it all off at one time, so that adjustment gives you the ability to move your cutter, you know, down a little bit on the top or up a little bit on the bottom. Just things we got to learn, inexperience, as well as I should have unplugged the air hose last night because it leaks a little bit over here, so it had drained the tanks down. And I fired it up and we started running, and we probably didn't have 30 PSI. It wasn't enough. But real world, this is what happens when you try to do things. Needless to say, I'm tickled to death. This is the first money this machine's making. It's a paying job. I'm getting ready to call the guy here when I end this video, tell him his 1x8s are ready to go. He actually wanted 1x10s, but I'm out right now, so he had to settle for 1x8s. And tell him that he don't have to take them home and plane them because I already run them at 3/4 of an inch, and he's ready to go. So win, win, win all the way around. I can't say it enough. Weining is an excellent corporation. Between their service techs, their salesmen, their blade guys, their sharpening guys, they're all good people. They're all very knowledgeable about their product. I've communicated with a bunch of them. Hopefully when we get this all up and running properly, like it's supposed to, we will get some of their executive sales VPs out here, customer service guys, and we'll do a YouTube video. They already told me they wanted to, but they're waiting on me because I told them I didn't want them to come out until we were ready to showcase their machine doing what it's supposed to. They need to go around, tighten up some of my vacuum lines. I had them loose so we could take them off yesterday and get them out of the way. This one outfeed cutter, it fell off. You can see a little pile of sawdust it left on the ground. It don't take long. When it fell off, I started seeing sawdust flying up, and I'm like, where's that at? And that hose had fell off. So it can make a mess in a hurry. This is the kind of sawdust you get. You know, it's not sawmill sawdust. This is long, stringy. This makes excellent horse bedding. This has value. You can't mix it. You know, around here it's got to be pine. I can sell every bit of that pine I can make. They don't want poplar, they don't want oak, ash, hickory, maple, none of that. They want pine. So that's something else what Matthew and I got to work on in the future is I'm not making another dedicated exhaust system, but I do want a way that I can maybe blow it into a truck or a trailer when we're running a bunch of pine, and I got a bunch of pine to run here lately. And if we can capture that and, you know, turn it into profit, then hey, win, win, win. Now the other stuff still makes good bedding, just not for horses. You know, if you got chickens, you got rabbits, you got goats, you know, dogs, whatever. It makes excellent bedding for that. Horses are just the ones there. Apparently they can get some kind of nasal problems from these different species of wood. And most times people don't have $1 million chicken or $1 million goat, you know, or $1 million dog. A lot of people around here got $1 million horses, and I don't blame them, you know. So, got any questions, comments on this, guys? Please drop them in the comment section below. I hope you can see it on my face that I am tickled to death. It runs, it functions. No, it's not right yet, but I can run material through it. The vacuum system, you know, that was a big gamble. That was a straight up redneck engineered guess. I hope it will work. I think it's, you know, gonna be enough. And if you watch the sawdust going up the stream, every now and then you'd see a little piece that would float, but most of the time it just is gone. I should have put a camera out there to see how much was coming out the exhaust port. Those 10 boards make a lot of sawdust. You know, that was 5 seconds on the ground and it already made a pile. So it takes a pretty good vacuum system to evacuate this. And like I say, that was redneck engineered with just, you know, good faith knowledge in your head that I think it'll be enough. We did have to modify it. There's video out on that. The two streams, when they come together, they were wanting to cross over one another. They were interfering. So as a simple fix, we just basically sawed that pipe straight up the elbow. We slid in a straight piece of pipe or a flat piece of metal, welded it all in, cut it off, and I know it's there, and you have to look real close to see it's there. But now those two streams don't merge until they get way up there, and they got no choice but to be headed out the building. So it happens, you know. If you're not paying for all this to be professionally done, plan on some things that are not going to work, and there's nothing wrong with that, people. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. If you tell me you've never made a mistake, you just told me you never tried. I grew up riding motorcycles, and a guy told me he'd never rode a motorcycle. I guarantee you I knew he'd never rode much either, because we knew how to wreck. Between my cousins and friends and family around here, we knew how to wreck because we rode hard. And life's the same way, guys. If you never make a mistake, you're not trying hard enough. Get out there, you know. Don't make $100,000 mistakes. You know, little mistakes. Learn as you go. Something you know you can fix. Don't go work on your Porsche. Hire a guy that knows how to work on them, unless you're good at it, or learn to be good at it. But same thing with electricity. I'm a good home wire. I can wire home, no problem. This 3-phase, it was out of my depth. I have intentionally learned enough through this process to where I'm confident in working on my 3-phase equipment now. I understand the theory and the thought behind it and the processes that I didn't know before because I never put the time and effort into learning. So you can learn, you can grow, but I hired professionals to do that because I wanted it done once, done right, and done to the specifications I needed to run this machine without the machine getting hot, the electrical getting hot, you know, any of that. So shout out to Wayne and Tommy. They really won't be on YouTube much, but that's their choice, and I abide by that. But they're excellent guys. Been in this their whole life. Both of them's a little older than I am, but they know their stuff. So enough rambling. I'm tickled to death, overjoyed to see it run. Get these last couple little issues worked out. I'm pretty sure I'm going to run this thing manual. Not even worry about that computer over there. There's no need for it. If it was new, yeah, you get it fixed. But this is so old. The engineering, the knowledge, and the ability to fix it is going away. Just put it back manual and we'll keep on using it. So, and most of these machines were sold manual. This was an upgrade. The guy told me that yesterday. He said, you didn't see many this way because most people just bought them manual. So, we'll try to hush. I'm just tickled to death, guys. I appreciate you watching. Matthew and I really appreciate you watching Beardy Lumber. We're growing by leaps and bounds. As always, we're gonna try to get back to sawing. If I showed you my yard, your eyes would roll the back of your head. We have had so much wood delivered. A lot of it I've bought for inventory. I've had a tremendous amount brought in by customers wanting sawed, and I'm having to tell them, guys, it's going to be, you know, weeks, months before I can get to all of this. Kiln drying, I'm telling them, you know, I'll look at it in January, February. Right now, I've got all I can do. So it's a blessing. As always, we appreciate you guys. Don't forget about Solomon. Him and Matthew do all our videos. You can check him out at Third Beard Fishing. And him and my daughter run a design company, 525 Design. If you need any logos, you know, they designed our Buried Lumber logo. I don't know if I got a shirt on this one. Yeah. Hey, Solomon, I sent him some PDFs of me and Matthew standing up against the wall. About an hour later, he sent me back the thing, made 1 or 2 little tweaks to it. I'm like, man, I like it. That's it. So maybe they can help you out with that. That's going to do it for today. Let's get out of here. I got plenty I need to do. We got done so late yesterday. I pushed all the tools up the pile, turned the lights off, and went to the house. So I've got a lot of mess to clean up. But I can't tell you enough how much we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.